Space-time tunnel and 20 parallel worlds. Space-time tunnel and 20 parallel worlds, in reality, they are collective worlds as they are not entirely parallel, but intersect and are independent of each other. Xiefeng, May 24, 2006. The dense network of time throughout the universe, composed of positive and negative time, is called a time tunnel. The channels that connect the 36 spaces from 1 to 36 dimensions are called space tunnels. Time tunnels always run vertically, and space tunnels always run horizontally. To travel to the past or the future, one must use the time tunnel. To access the 36 spaces from 1 to 36 dimensions, one must use the space tunnel. Time and space are interlaced, interlacing 20 quadrants. We already know that time has positive and negative, and space also has positive and negative. From the perspective of positive time and positive space, there is only one quadrant, that is, the first quadrant in the plane coordinate system. When we consider negative time and negative space, there are 4 quadrants. These 4 quadrants are composed of real numbers, that is, xy, 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 xy. When we enter the non-material world, we find that there is an imaginary number I. Replace I with z, and it forms a 3-dimensional coordinate system with xy. This 3-dimensional coordinate system has 20 quadrants, namely xyz, 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 xc, 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 yz, 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 xy, 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 xy. This means that there are 20 worlds in the entire universe. These 20 worlds can be called 20 collective worlds because they coexist in the universe at the same time. Among these 20 collective worlds, the world where we humans live is the XY world. The so-called ghost world is the XY world. The world where gods and Buddhas live is the XYZ world. The world where demons live is the XYZ world. The 1,000-year world is in the XYZ world. The 10,000-year world is in the XYZ world. And the Seychelles Islands continent is in the XYZ world. When our thinking and spirituality are only limited to the material world, we can't see the other 19 worlds at all. When we only recognize the verticality of time and don't know that time also has horizontality, we are only in the plane coordinate system and only know that there are 4 quadrants. When we look at the world with Buddha eye, we will see that imaginary number I, that imaginary number axis that passes through the O point. People who have drawn blueprints or understand blueprints know that any 3-dimensional object is composed of points and lines in the top view, left view, right view, bottom view, and sectional view. To see the whole picture of the object, you must look at it from the top, bottom, left, and right, and form a 3-dimensional image in your brain. The term imaginary number was created by the famous 17th century mathematician Descartes. At the turn of the 17th and 18th centuries, Germany's most important mathematician, physicist, and philosopher Leibniz described imaginary numbers as follows. Imaginary numbers are the wonderful and strange hiding places of the gods. They are almost amphibious creatures that both exist and do not exist. When we look at the plane coordinate system, we can't see that imaginary number axis at all. Where is the imaginary number axis? The imaginary number axis is between our eyes and the O point of the coordinate system. Why can't we see it? It's like the point projected by a chopstick standing vertically under the light, or to explain it this way, when a chopstick is perpendicular to the line of sight, we only see the point of the chopstick head and can't see the whole picture of the chopstick. We can't see the point of the imaginary number axis either, because it is attached to the other points we see, just like a soul possessing a body. Where is the greatest creator? The greatest creator is in the zero world. Where is the zero world? The zero world is that O point in the coordinate system. Whether it's the x-axis, y-axis, or z-axis, they all pass through that O point. All 20 collective worlds are connected to the O point, so the greatest creator exists in all 20 worlds at the same time. Without the greatest creator, any world will cease to exist. Why should we walk the way of the greatest creator? Because only by going through the greatest creator can we reach any other space. Without going through the greatest creator, we can only go around in a certain world and never reach other worlds. We are now in the XY world. The XY world is the world we live in. For us, The other 19 worlds are all illusory. Of course, these illusory worlds are not illusory. The reason we think they are illusory is that our vision, hearing, taste, smell, and touch can't perceive them. Our spiritual sense is not open. Our thinking is limited. If our spiritual sense is open, our thinking has reached the corresponding height. We can see the other 19 worlds. We can know that the illusory is not illusory, emptiness is form. When I say the non-material world, I mean the other 19 worlds outside the XY world. Life Changyuan sets the future of Chanyuan Celestials to the XYZ world of the Celestial Islands continent, because this is the most wonderful place. I just want to guide everyone to this wonderful place. How to get there? First, we must have a comprehensive understanding and comprehension of Chanyuan Corpus and Xiefeng Corpus, and actively participate in the construction of Life Changyuan. The core content is to fully understand the 8 levels of thinking and the 8 mysteries of life. Every condition is indispensable. To go from XY to XYZ, we must use the time tunnel and the space tunnel, mainly the space tunnel, because we are not going back to the past, we are going to the future. From XY to XYZ, although it is parallel movement, there is a process in between. Although this process is short, there is time after all, so we must also enter the time tunnel. This is a very short time tunnel in horizontal time. We mainly enter the space tunnel and enter the Celestial Islands continent through the space tunnel. When do we enter the space tunnel? Perhaps it has not yet been realized by everyone, but from the moment you became a Chanyuan Celestial, you have already entered the space tunnel leading to the Celestial Islands continent. Although your physical body is still in the XY world, your spirit body has already followed the tour guide on a tour in the space tunnel, and we have already set off.